going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and this morning we're going to be talking about some scary updates for MW3 zombies and some content that may get secretly added in. Definitely stay tuned. But before we jump into that, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, drop a like, and also as a reminder, there's plenty of brand new content going up over on detonated.com for those that want additional coverage of multiplayer, Warzone, and certainly zombies. Plus, we got plenty of tweets every single hour on Detonated's Twitter. Now, there's been quite a bit of content going up here on the channel in the last 24 hours. We're talking the brand new Vortex event, Week 8 challenges, Season 3's roadmap, the Battle Pass information, and even some content in regards to the Season 3 bundles. I have even more for you guys on the way over the next couple of days. There is so much left to break down for our third season, but what I want to start with is a mention in the recent blog post about Urzikstan bunkers opening up. If you guys remember, at the beginning of Season 2, one of the bunkers opened up near the center of the map, in which we were able to come across a bunch of testing tubes and zombies within them. I wasn't sure if that was hinting at something that was for MW3 zombies, considering we have the zombies experience on Urzikstan, or was that something pertaining to Black Ops 2024? That's still unknown, but it looks like we might get answers to whatever that was at some point in the future of Season 3. Closer to mid-season, we're going to end up seeing additional bunkers opening up around Urzikstan, and they did advise us to take caution when entering. I'm curious if that means we're going to have actual zombies coming after us, but it does look like this is an update for Warzone. That's why I'm wondering what this is leading towards, but for hardcore zombies fans out there, something is brewing up, which may either be setting up the next Call of Duty or something within this game that we just don't know about yet. But on top of that, if you guys are wondering what's going on with the rumored wallet system or that PvP mode, neither of those two features were mentioned in any marketing for Season 3. Here's the thing that I want to remind you of, right? We did get the introduction of containment levels, aka exfil streaks, that were secretly added into the patch notes with Season 2 Reloaded's update. So for all we know, on May 1st, when we get Season 3 Reloaded, in the patch notes, they could just vaguely mention, oh, there's a wallet system in zombies now. For whatever reason, they just didn't market containment levels in the Season 2 blog post, even though that's a pretty big feature, and the wallet's a big one too, but I'd guess maybe they would just secretly add that in and say, hey, here's a good quality of life update for those out there that want a reason to stack up a bunch of points in their match. They can exfil with them and then bring some points into their next game, similar to how cash worked over in DMZ. That would be cool, so definitely expect a secret update like that, if that's how they're gonna do it, unless they eventually market the wallet in like Season 4 or something. But then when it comes to the PvP mode, they've been silent on this. Newer leaks have popped up in regards to the experience, but I'm expecting with the launch of Season 3, the usual hackers over on Twitter will probably find more information about what is left for zombies and when that mode may be coming out. I'll keep you guys posted on that topic, but jumping into the zombies portion of the Season 3 blog post, for those that may have missed out, it does confirm that during the mid-season update, we'll be saving Dr. Jansen. There's a brand new Dark Aether story mission as a part of Act 4. An unknown force of disturbing power has its psychic tendrils wrapped tightly around Dr. Ava Jansen. The Doctor has been lured into a new region of the Dark Aether under this malignant influence. Strike teams from Operation Deadbolt have converged to assist Sergei Ravenov as he attempts to locate and rescue Dr. Jansen from the unknown. Your expertise surviving and escaping the Dark Aether is required. The time has come to explore a new part of the Dark Aether and rescue Dr. Jansen, and readying up for another Dark Aether gate hunt. Now this confirms a similar formula to what we got in Season 1 and then Season 2 Reloaded. You have a brand new act mission, you go in, you complete the objectives, you get some hints as to what the quest is going to be, then you either go to Urzikstan or go back into that act mission to collect a bunch of relics you're going to use to open up a Dark Aether rift that allows you to go back into that Dark Aether space outside of the act mission, and then once you're in that space, you could do contracts to unlock brand new schematics, right? That's how zombies updates have worked during MW3's post-launch. The blog post does confirm that we should expect a series of unlock objectives focusing on finding and attuning several relics. These were previously leaked out, as I covered in a recent video. These will allow you access through the new gate. Accomplish these tasks to step into the ethereal voidscape and face the terrifying horrors lurking within. Claiming valuable rewards if you survive, squad up and help Operation Deadbolt continue to contain the onslaught of the undead. Naturally, you're also here to complete activities and contracts, discover arcane secrets, and secure some highly classified schematics. Now, it's unfortunate that the second Dark Aether Rift didn't feature any secret rooms like the first one did. They utilized the DMZ keys that we saw back during Warzone 2.0's life cycle, and it was cool to see secret rooms allow us to get free wonder weapons, power-ups, or other bonuses. Those were cool in the first Rift, but just weren't at all in the second Rift, even though there were secret rooms in the Al Sayed shopping center back in DMZ. Maybe we'll actually get some new secrets in the third Rift, which takes place in the Zarqwa Hydroelectric portion of Al Mazrah. Now before we continue, I just wanted to remind you about MitchCactus.com, where you can get assistance grinding camos, nukes, or schematics in MW3. These guys do not use unlock tools or any bannable methods and will actually help you play the game. Mitch Cactus is also supported by Trustpilot with over 10,000 verified reviews. You can use code Dynamite for a limited time to save 5% off your order. Now, once you're in the third Dark Aether Rift and the Elder version of that rift, which is after you guys go ahead and complete the Act mission, attune those relics, and enter that new Dark Aether Rift, once you get all the way to the Elder version of this rift, like we did the first 2 times, this is where you'll be able to complete contracts to unlock 3 brand new schematics. The first one is the Dead Wire Detonators. This is interesting. So as they wrote, you might want to enjoy the Dead Wire Detonator and attach it to all your explosive weaponry, including lethals and launchers. Now, that's a bit of an iffy type of schematic. I wouldn't say that's all that useful, but could prove to be pretty OP against maybe some of the harder bosses if you're going up against them. But then we have the Golden Mask Filter. This schematic is essentially a self-regenerating gas mask for the rest of your game. This comes in extremely handy for surviving zombie strongholds and any surprises in the rifts, so I suppose that's cool if you can't find a durable or don't have money to buy a regular gas mask. It's kind of like the Golden Armor Plate where it just keeps regenerating the rest of the game. But then lastly, the Sergeant's Barret, essentially the DMZ disguise feature. So this will allow you to stay pretty hidden amongst all the AI or mercs around the environment. Now here's what I'll say about the schematics real quickly, and I'm sure you guys would agree with this. It's cool to get new upgrades and enhancements, but we need a reason to go ahead and use these new schematics, right? If you look at DMZ in Season 3's update, for example, we ended up getting a pretty big overhaul with new progression, upgrades, and a refresh of missions that gives us a reason to use our new unlocks, right? Whereas with MW3 Zombies, for the last, 2 months now, we keep getting these new items that could be proven useful in a challenging act mission or a new boss fight or a new Easter egg, but there just isn't anything being added in that we really need these items for. Unless you haven't finished your act missions just yet, right? Acts 1 through 3, then we're kind of just unlocking items and maybe losing access to them. If you die out, you gotta wait for a countdown timer. But then what is the incentive to go back in game to use these new schematics? That's my question, right? And I think it's a flaw with the updates thus far. I think it's just scary to think about these updates not performing all that great to the point where they just don't add in any zombies content with the new season. I mean, there isn't a guaranteed season pass. There is no contractual obligation to add updates to Modern Warfare 3 Zombies. So it'd be scary to know that, let's say, people just don't play the Season 3 Dark Aether Rift or the 4th one next season, and then Activision's like, yeah, let's just pull the plug on this mode. There's no point. Nobody's really playing it. That's scary, along with the idea that we may just be seeing the exact same formula every mid-season update with nothing else original. Maybe a PvP mode, but other than that, it'll just be the same type of content drop with an act mission, a quest for the Rift, and then the 3 schematic contracts. But then we have the new Rainmaker Warlord. This is also a mid-season update, so just like with our last couple of Warlord updates, for a week after the update releases, you'll be able to exclusively find the brand new Warlord in Urzikstan, but then after that week, they'll end up having the Warlord on a rotation with the other Warlords, such as Legacy, Dokkaebi, and then Carries. You'll see one of those Warlords in your match. I think that's a bit counterintuitive. It should just be all Warlords in one game at a time for those that want to enjoy that. At least they buffed the Warlord reward rifts, where now you get a guaranteed wonder weapon every time you defeat that person. So here's what's going on with the Rainmaker. This Warlord's going to be operating in the southeastern part of the Urzikstan exclusion zone, particularly by the Shahin Manor. It's going to be a bit of a challenge, as they said, but they said that about the other Warlords as well, and they weren't really that difficult. Dokkaebi was a little tricky here and there, but I think Carries was just way too easy. I'm sure you guys probably agree with that too, but they said expect mortar rounds and RPG fire to descend on your squad, with assault maneuvers made even more difficult due to the water surrounding Rainmaker's lair. This could be the most challenging Warlord to date, but I suppose the only real reason for defeating them will be to get a guaranteed wonder weapon case. Unless you guys care about picking up whatever blueprint they're holding, you can't really unlock it. You could just use it for the rest of that game. Then that's really it for the Warlord update here. They did say to look out for nasty surprises you weren't expecting with Rainmaker, but let's wait and see what that could mean. Overall, you'll of course have your prestige challenges, your new camos to grind on the brand new weapons. There will still be some content for zombies on top of the new weekly challenges and whatever in-game challenge events get added in, which also ask you to play zombies. There will still be a reason to hop on, but not a big reason like what we're seeing for multiplayer in Warzone, right? Those modes are getting significant amounts of content, but like I've been saying for a while, I think it's a worthwhile sacrifice, right? In a perfect world, every mode can get equal amounts of content and Treyarch won't be spread too thin. They can still work on their next Black Ops game, but like Fajardi's been saying on recent podcasts, right? Would you rather have 2 mediocre zombies experiences or one that started off strong but had to kind of die down down to ensure the next Black Ops game has a really powerful return to form with full focus and dedication on the next premium title that Treyarch is working on. Now I'm gonna end this video with this fantastic thread I saw over on Twitter by Discount TV. I actually quote tweeted this. In case you guys follow me on Twitter, you probably saw it, but here's what this says. I don't get why zombies being in season is bad. Like, genuinely, that literally makes no difference as to how long it would have taken between every update. Would it be cool if it all came at launch? Yes, it would. And real quickly, I just want to butt in and say, yeah, you know, it's exactly one season from the last update, which isn't all that bad. I think I would prefer at least some small QOL updates to drop day one, April 3rd, but we don't live in a perfect world, right? They continue by saying, but then we get absolutely nothing for the Reloaded update, and everyone will be complaining anyways. You see what I mean? I genuinely can't wait for people to lose their crap over Gulf War having waiting periods between round-based maps, just like every other zombies ever. Obviously, MWZ's content being what it is doesn't help when it comes to having to wait for content updates, but we've always had to wait for major updates. I think the one example that I can name where the wait wasn't too long was Outbreak launching in Season 2 after Firebase Z, but DLC maps only come out a few months apart. Yes, and it's the exact same with MWZ's updates. They've been quite consistent with what's offered in the update, so at least we know we're not in for 5-month-long dry periods like when Mara to Toten was in development. Why not release some of the zombie content at launch? Because you'd still complain since it would be 2 lackluster updates when it could have just all launched at once and been a beefier offering, plus the updates get a bit more time in the oven. I'm predicting right here now that Gulf War is going to launch, probably be pretty good, not live up to everybody's expectations, and then the community will crap itself for another year since we'll always have to wait a few months between new updates. You generally can't please our community. As I also went ahead and quoted this thread, I completely agree. It honestly just feels like MW Zombies is a bonus experience to just help pass the time a little bit more and keep us energetic with the idea of zombies until the premium release this fall, which is Treyarch's return to round base, and that's their full-fledged Black Ops title. They got 4 years of development, allegedly at least. So I think if anything, it's just something extra at this point. I'm more so focused on multiplayer and Warzone, unless Zombies does get content. But I would hate to see Black Ops 2024 suffer at all because of an extra experimental type mode that Treyarch had to make for a different studio's title. I love MW3 Zombies, but I'm really optimistic about what Infinity Ward or High Moon could cook for the mode for the rest of this year that could make fans happy while we have Treyarch all hands on deck on their own title. I think at most we'll get that PvP mode, but other than that, it's probably gonna be the same formula of a new act mission, new egg to get into the rift, and then some new schematics we can get via some contracts in that rift. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on my breakdown here of all the content coming in Season 3 for MW3 Zombies? Leave all your thoughts down below. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.